Okay, looks like we are live. I need a link here. All right. Excellent connection. Now, how do I share this thing? All right. Let's do a thing here. All right. Impromptu, y'all. Impromptu. Okay, share. All right. Impromptu live, y'all. I figured since I'm going to be back testing anyway, and actually, someone asked me to go live, so I figured why not, right? Why not? So, since we are in a lovely ranging time frame, why not figure out how to trade it, right? All right, so I'm waiting on Lux to jump on, and then we can chat live. Kitty wants attention as always. Okay. I've learned how to stream. Live. Think I'll do like a scheduled one next time for what is it like the FOMC so we can watch the trades. Maybe if something picks up we can get in, all that good stuff. All right. Let's use the same space I was using yesterday. And I have my other screen open for any thoughts or comments or chats so I can view that. Also have my OBS open on the other screen too, just so I can see what's up. And luckily for me, I have learned to keep the volume off on the other screen when I'm doing the live. So fun, fun, fun. All right, so first things first, what should we play with first? We want to play with ranges, right? So this is on the daily for Ethereum. So let's go down since look at, oh my God, look at this. This is so slow, so slow. You know what? Let's play with this range over here, right? Let's, um, let's drop down to the, I don't know, 1 hour. Whoa, look at that. Probably look better if I do something like that. All right, so let's look at the 1 hour and poke at let's poke at this range. Let's like do our Stevie Wonder thing and let's pick ourselves a range. All right, so I'll be what's up, Alok? Let's get it. Let's get it pumping. All right. So I'm gonna hit the replay button and let's just pick. We've been kind of kicking it. Let's play with the last like few days of ranging activities. Let's just cut it right about here on the 1 hour. And let's take this juicy spot right here. We had this rise, a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit of more of a rise, and then we're just kind of chugging along here. So I'm going to use a GAN box chart to figure out my range. And technically, if we're being really honest, right, we could be a part of a bigger range, and let's maybe zoom in because once this came, then we just started hanging out. So I don't know if you've been watching Meet Kaplan stuff, but just understanding where the ranges are is, a matter of how many times has it been touching on the top, doom, doom, doom. And then anything over it's like the range deviations, right? So I'm probably, this is the one, all right. So I'm probably even gonna be like, bring it down even more like that because just more action. This is range deviation. And then let's roll up to the top. We've got a lot of touching over here. So I am going to move, yeah, actually, whoops. Yeah, so I'm going to move everything over a bit like that further into the range so we can, and honestly, I'm also still learning this too. So let's do this. Starting from over here. Got some nice action. All right. So we need to make sure that the bottom's nice and touching over here. Yeah, why not, right? Um, Maybe that will get me off my proverbial booty and get me to do actual stuff. Now, the fun fact is that you can have ranges within ranges. Isn't that crazy? Who knew, right? All right, so I need the center to be a spot where price has kind of stopped at, hung out at, and done some stuff. All right, so now let's drop down to the 15-minute. And then you kind of start to see how it actually like works. We're going from one side to the next, kind of consolidate in the middle right now. So what I'm thinking is, I'm looking for things from the top of the range to the bottom of the range, so on and so forth. And if you looked at Meet's stuff, it's like a combination of from trading options. It's like you can try from the top all the way to the bottom. You could do from somewhere like maybe a little bit in the middle to the bottom, and wherever you see the structures forming, right? But what I'm interested in right now that we're in this range. Hey Miguel, yay! How you doing, man? Yes, let's do it, right? Let's kind of learn together, right? And guys, we can actually even do this on Meet too, so you guys can like talk and we can work through like the strategies and all that jazz. And I've been feeling a little off on what I'm trying to do, so it's best for me to sort that puppy out. Okay, so now we're in this range. We can probably like, honestly, since we see like simple things like, once it comes up here, and I guess we should probably like talk through like range deviations. Anything that busts out of the range is a deviation, and then if as long as it busts back into the range, then the range is still valid, right? So right now it's kind of respecting it. We're at the half mark. So let's drop down to like say the 5 minute. And do we have anything juicy? So the usual suspects, right? So we've got this lower low. This is kind of like an inducement, I think, and they came and took out. I'm learning new words, y'all. So there's this new trader that already dropped into the Discord that's doing smart money concept stuff, and that's where I'm kind of learning to recognize like, so you got this low until from a structure perspective, right? Because it hasn't broken this out, which is the next high. Oh, it never hit. And the price has been raging and I didn't bother to put it back in. I canceled the order because it had already dropped and I wanted to reassess. Plus, I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't feeling the trade yesterday. Like the movement was just too small. And when I did my calculation, the return for me wasn't worth it because I wanted it to drop from 1272 or 1270 to 1230, and we haven't even moved. We're back up at 1266. See it? So we haven't gone anywhere. So I was like, we need some proper movement. So I figure while I'm waiting for something to show up, and maybe we can even take a look at the live stuff and see what we could probably get into today after this, or after we do some of this stuff. Yeah, the weekend's kind of really slow. All right. So in terms of structure, this hasn't broken this level here, so this is kind of like a fake out. And this hasn't dropped any lower, so it's just inducing folks to go long. And then they like killed all of they liquidated the shorts that were under here. So this was actually the real one for taking a long up, right? From a structural perspective, right? So I'm finding it very fascinating. Yeah, exactly. All right, so now we're over here on the 5 minute. What can we do with this? So I'm gonna need something a little bit more exciting. So let's see. From a structural, we've taken out these lows. We're halfway up. So I'm thinking, if we can break above here, we can probably get a nice little high. We still have a bit of an imbalance right here, here, so we can trade it up. So what are we even looking for? So maybe we should be on like the 1 minute looking for structure, Because I'm still pretty new, right? So I'm still trying to figure out what's the best, especially on these lower time frames. Like I don't usually do 1 minute. So let's see. What do we have? Oh, beautiful. Look at that. So now we have, I love this. So they had this low. They induced folks up here to probably go long. Then they took them out, their shorts here. And now they're back up here. They've broken this guy. Cool. So what I want to do is what I want to see is a similar scenario unfold for me to go long on this one, right? So I want the next few candles to break below here. I mean, technically the order block is all the way down here, right? Technically, because the break's well, technically, if this breaks here on the 1 minute, the real break's really up here, right? And they did break it, so great. So what I want is for them, since they've done this, I want them to do this and come down in this general vicinity to tap this thing right here, potentially, the last level they stopped at, and then come back up. So let's see if that happens. All right, so they've broken this level. Nice. So technically, once they've broken it, we should technically be able to just go long from here, right? Once they've taken out this low. So let's see if that works out, right? Let's say if we did this, we put it below this guy. There is an imbalance down here, so I could be wrong. What do you guys think? I could most definitely be wrong. They've been rejected a lot off of the 50, so let's look to the left. Like where's the last place they've been hanging out? So they've been rejected like once, twice, 3 times really hard. So I'm a little concerned. Is this, unless it breaks this, the trade's not even worth it to me. I would be expecting, this level that they've been hanging out at a little bit. But if they can't break above this, it might not be worth it. I don't know. But let's see. How does that play out? Let's just hit the play button. So definitely got stopped out, but the idea did work though, right? So all we need to do is work out where our stop should be. And I've been testing out this ATR stops thing, right? And look, if I just used it, we would have put the stop right there, good to go, bam, right up to this spot, and at least back to the 50, that would have been like a 1 to 5 or something like that. I am more interested in it going all the way up to the top though. Mini concerns, the 50. They've been rejecting it hardcore, like for realsies, hardcore. So let's see what they do because they've taken out this. There's this liquidity potential, yeah, that they could take out too. There's this wick, so I feel like they're gonna come back into it at least. Let's see. Yes, look at that, beautiful. Because it's a range, right? So okay, I love that. See, that thing, literally just learned that yesterday, and I'm constantly every day learning and grabbing a new video, trying to understand how the market works. And just understanding how liquidity is taken is like a big boon. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. So now, if I were to be, so I would have just taken my profits here and left. Now I would be looking for a next entry because it's a range, right? So you have two options. You can either try and write it all the way up here and then take into account all the areas that it might get turned back at, like right here. All right. Right about here. So, like areas where the market's going to go up, come back down to that spot, and then go back up again. So they rejected this area really hard. So what I'm thinking is this is the last spot that they hung out at, right? So let me get rid of this and let's get rid of that. And my thought here is this, like if they don't break below this thing and they give me something like a good structure, so similar scenario, right? Like still on the 1 minute, if they're gonna come down, give me like a little bit of a tiny rally, then drop below it to do the inducement thing again, and then continue back up, then we can try again for another round. I'm like rinse and repeat, right? Why not? So let's see what they do. And we still have this order block down here. So let's see what they do. Okay. So we have this level. They broke it. All right. Strong red candle. We turn it around. All right. They've decided to come down into the order blocks. Cool, cool, cool. So it looks like the whole trend's turned now. All right. So this is a scenario where I'm going to go back up to like, say, the 10 minutes. And reorient myself because we got like a quick a quick hit. All right, so we look like a little mini range inside this range. Isn't that crazy? Ranging inside a range. Because this could be like a 1 minute range, right? Let's see. Because I mean, otherwise this just looks like insanity to me. When you like bring it back out, there's just nothing going on. But let's not overcomplicate things for the moment. All right, we busted through that. We're away from, I'm going to just remove these for the moment just because we're coming back down. And technically, like we're in this lower discount area, right? We should technically be looking for longs. So maybe we can be patient and so for bigger gains in the range, right? Maybe what we should be doing is waiting for price to come down into this space, wait for a rejection and then roll it back up and then vice versa. Let's see. Oh, look, turned around. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Did it do what we originally hoped it would do? Let's zoom in on that puppy. Yeah, it broke through it, made this level, killed the stop losses, and then turned around. I love it. That's a beaut. I mean, until yesterday, I wouldn't even have thought about that. I mean, I understood the structure, but I never understood why, you would, make the W like this and then continue up, or the M, like this, break it and then continue down until now. And I'm like, what? This is awesome. Like if they've made this, wait for them to break it, then take the long. Beautiful. I love that. All right. Well, they definitely, let's look to the left. What do they do? So, I'm finding that these order blocks aren't as powerful as we want them to be. You know what I mean? Really, the areas that I'm finding that they really love is like just where they've come. All the orders are like pooling in this general vicinity is where they want to like hang out. So I'm finding like if I'm aiming for those things instead of the order blocks directly, that's better. I don't know. It's weird. All right, so we've missed all of that juiciness, but technically, if we're following the same simple ass strategy, you could have just been like, okay, cool. Check move now. Oh, really? Something happening? Let me open up my ETH. Let's see. Oopsie. Let's go down to the 15-minute. What you got? Yeah, because they're in this bigger range. They're just hanging out on the daily open. They're full of shit right now, man. Just look at this foolishness. So this is a tiny range inside this range. Man. I mean, look how ridiculously tiny that range is. And in that case, let's go down to the 1 minute. Let's see, what are you doing? So in this tiny, look at that beautiful range deviation, lots of confirmations for the range itself. Tiny range inside the bigger range. Wow. It's Saturday. What the hell are they even doing? But look, it's not even like a real move. They're just being a-holes. It's like a thing. Not even a 1% move. Small liquidity. Yep. Let's look to the left. Yep. Just ate all of this little stuff. They ate all of this. They like they look like they were heading towards the half point on the main range and then got rejected hard. And now they're trading back into the tiny range they've just been hanging out. I mean, this range is what? Oh, come on, man. It's not even 0.32%. Like, how do you make money on this type of range? I mean, you'd have to be doing like, I don't know, 20x or some shit to make some real money on this time. But don't get me wrong, there are folks who trade the seconds. I'm too cheap to pay trading you for the seconds view because that is way too scary. I don't know about you. That's way too scary. But look at what they've done. Let's see. Since we are looking at this, they've shook everybody out with gusto. But look what they didn't do. They haven't closed a candle above this higher high on the range. They just wicked everybody out. Man, that's mean. That is mean. All right, so since we're playing inside this range, how long have they been hold on, how long have they been sitting in this general vicinity, coiling up to this move of awfulness? 3 hours. Good for them. Yeah, only liquidity. They're full of it. All right, so they're bringing it down. So I would say, and this is on 1 minute. Let me see. Oh, they're dropping it hard. All right, so let's see. These guys rolled over here from a range deviation. I'm just gonna point out areas they could like tap into if they feel like it. If they're gonna kick it somewhere around inside the range. If they're gonna dump, because these moves aren't big. They're so minuscule. It's like, why even bother? Now, if we're thinking about it from our little strategy here, what do we need to like say take along, right? They've dropped it. They've eaten that. Have they broken that? Yeah, they kind of did, didn't they? They dropped it. And then they broke tiny amounts above it, then you could potentially take a long from here if the strategy works, right? Because they turned around real quick. I just don't I just don't trust most of this. But look, they've been doing it, rinsing and repeating the same thing over and over again, right? Look, they something. So I love this. They made this area. Uh, it's just a break, really. Hold on. What am I thinking? That's not right. Mm, all the inducements has been just sitting there, and then they broke it, came back down, and this is where you could have taken the long. Um, Similar scenario here. A short for ETH on the retrace. I don't know. They've left a lot. They've come out. They've come pretty firmly into this. They're going to recover most of this pretty quickly. See, look, they're going to recover it. So you could make a long really quickly, but the momentum's already kind of passed. I would say they've induced all these folks to go short, turned around, liquidated them, and now they're recovering the whole thing. How interesting. I mean, in all technicality, they've done it here, retraced, induced these folks to go short here, then wiped them out because their stop losses are right here, and then continued back up. So maybe something like that. I'm not taking it because it's not enough of a reward for me because I refuse to. I'm using 5x leverage at the moment, and I'm not boss enough to do that. Hmm. Now, honestly, if they come back in and tap the daily open, eat all of this, then I might be, I don't know, I might consider it. But I'd rather wait for something like, look what they did. They consolidated, oops, then they manipulated, and then they expanded. It's the power of three they just hit you with on the 1 minute, like that. Now, if they're actually going to go up higher, they need to break above this thing for me to believe them. Break above it, come back down to tap the 0.5, and then continue back up. If they're doing that, if they're not doing it, they're just playing games. The move's done. They've eaten all that little tiny liquidity, all your 1 minute seconds traders. Yeah, I'm good. If they're continuing short though, they're continuing short, then I would think they need, for me, I need to break this low convincingly, come back to retap it, and like do some sort of inducement, and then continue back down. So I need them to break it for me to be convinced. Right now, they're just playing around in this range. They've eaten all this liquidity, all of it. More down here to be eaten, so they could continue on down. I don't know. Right now, I'm still too new at these 1 minute strategies. It's kind of harder for me to decide to get in on it. Plus, I had like a mini crisis of what the hell am I even doing, you know? Did Bitcoin do anything at the same time? Oopsie, wrong one. Let's go with that one. What are you doing with your life? Oh, okay. Played the same game. Oh, look, they're getting rejecting off the pivot too. The daily pivot on the 15. You're just trading below it, which hmm, could potentially say to me that they're going down. Hmm, Let's get on to the 1 minute on the the bitty bitty. Oh man, they're doing the same thing. Look at it. Why? That's so mean. They ate all of it. They just they ate it, tapped the pivot, the daily pivot. Ooh, did they take out the rest of them too? Hold on. Did they get all? No, they haven't eaten those yet. Still some more up here. Oh, that's the last place they turned around. Interesting. Hmm. That's a is this like a bigger internal range? Let's see. So if we take all of this into account, what do I want? Does that work? Let's zoom in on that. Okay. Mm, yeah, it does. Yeah, because I can foresee them eating these. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. They ate this liquidity, ate that, ate all the internal liquidity, and then turned right back around. I really like that. I really need to test it so I feel more confident in using it. Hmm. Yeah. As for this internal range, I think I still need to adjust my settings for it. So I don't think it's quite accurate. Let's see. Are you talking about, oh, you're talking about brown here? Or you mean up here? Let's see. Yeah, that's a good 15-minute level. Uh, s- oh, look at that. Did they do the same thing yesterday? Is that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. They did the same thing, ate everybody, and then ripped it back down. Did the same thing just now. Ate everybody, ripped it back down. Hmm. And then coiled down just a little lower. Oh, you got the OK. You're using the OKX exchange. Well, yeah, of course. Let's go to over here and let's go see. Because it really does matter which exchange you're on. I made that mistake once. I was trading and I was on like, I don't know, Femex or something. And the Femex exchange trying to trade Bitcoin. And man, that really messed up my day. Oh yeah, you guys have a beautiful equal lows on the 15. That's a beautiful place for price to go. Heck yeah, that's gorgeous. That's a gorgeous target. Does it coincide with anything else juicy? Let's see. Why, yes, it does. It's in a general support resistance area as well. Look at that. Tried and true tested. Boom, 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 boom. Rejected, rejected. And there's a yeah, lots to play with. I mean, honestly, once this breaks out, because it looks like they're holding this range. If the FOMC stuff, if they choose to go 75, man, like my target would be all the way down here at 16. Actually, let's drop out to like even the 1 hour. Just get a better view. Let me take this ATR off for the moment. Plot my imbalance finder on. Right. I mean, in all honesty, we're in a giant range right now on the 1 hour. Giant. And I think we're at the point 0.5 point on this giant range or thereabouts, something like that. Yeah, look at it. So they're literally just hanging out at the top of this range on the 1 hour. So I mean, the potential for a short to the range low, not bad. Eat that. What would that be? Let's see. This general vicinity. 1.65% play. because they're going to meet a lot of resistance right here since they consolidated so long. If they can bust through, and I mean with gusto, like big, juicy red candles just bust through it, then they're going to eat all of this down here. And so you got what? Three targets, three big targets. One, two, and whoops, I have that. And three as areas they've last stopped off at recently. But any of these three could turn it back, could turn it, make it sit there. And this one's even worse because look how long they stayed in this general vicinity, you know? So what's above it though? What's the juiciness above it if the FOMC is fruitful, right? All right, let's look over here. So I think all up until 18, up until about here, 18,194, all there's not much of an imbalance to eat, just this little guy right there. But there's this juicy guy here. And round numbers is, everybody loves a good round number. Let's see. Been meaning to like check to see how long price likes to hang out. Because look, round number 1800, tapped it, came back down. Curious. Did it do anything at 1900? It broke through that. 2000, 20,000, 1900, 90,000, right? Yeah, they've been hanging out at 20,000 for a while there. Yep. Anyway, so, I mean, realistic targets, if FOMC, since the moves are so small, I mean, I would say rise, retrace. This is the last area. General vicinity they hung out at. Somewhere in that vicinity would be like a target, I would say. From here, realistic, and then they can bust through and eat this imbalance up here. Yeah, that's what I think. But look how tight they've been keeping. Because look, if you think about it, this is a giant range, like we're playing in these smaller ranges. We're in a big, big range. Like ever since we dropped to about here, we've just been hanging out. We busted out of it a little bit and crawled up to the top of the range. All right, Mario. It's Santa time. I love it. Yes. I love it. Thanks for popping by though. This is cool. This is really cool. Well, let's see what's going on in the Discord. Oh, you took the short? Nice. On ETH? Let's maybe get up out of here. At 1265. Kind of just hanging out at break even right now. Ah, look what they did. Now they're just sitting there. Look, they're gonna do it again. You know what? They're gonna do it again. Mm, they sit. The question is what? What are they gonna do again? Because they haven't. I think they're gonna rip it down. There's this to be eaten down here. Liquidity. So if you're in that short, oh, well, looks like they're changing their minds. What's the risk to reward on that one for you? That looks almost 1 to 1.2 or something. No, I saw that. Oh, you didn't get into it. Okay. Ah, well, let's see. If I was to take the short, now would be the right time because they've just eaten this inducement, broken it, and now they could potentially come back down. Though, do have this juicy imbalance up here for them to eat. Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying. I'm like, follow the money, right? Follow the inducement. Because since they've already done all this, there's all this liquidity to be eaten. I mean, I would wait till they pop back up here and then maybe give me some kind of like, I'd wait for here and then take the short from that spot. Because it's obvious that they're willing to at least come down to this area down here. They got to come back down to the open just for funsies. Hmm. Because they've eaten, they just need to fuel up. They just need to fuel up. So they have all of this. They could like eat this really quickly and then turn. I my problem is that I have an issue with actually getting into the trade. Like I always want the best price, you know? And the best price for me, because that's what I want, I'm gonna wait till they pop up here. Then I can put my thing up here maybe, and then ride it back down to just about the daily open. Why? Because they need to at least eat that. Well, look, they're running out of steam again. Man, I hate 1 minute. For trade setups, I don't like it because for entries, yes. For setups, no. So I'm gonna go back up to the 10 minutes for funsies and let's see. Yeah. Because at least from here, I can see they've eaten most of this imbalance. They don't necessarily need to eat all of it, but they're going to look at them. They just ate it. So yeah, I'm like totally wait for the top of this thing, and then I would take a short from up here instead. Boom, 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 boom. Weak break. Nothing's nothing's closed above here, so they're gonna come back down. Yeah. So let's let them eat that. Let's let them eat it, take it, and then let's wait for them to turn around and then drop in. The messed up part is I'm not logged into BitGet at the moment. So what would be the best play, right? Because there's this big order block. So what I want is, hmm, what am I? Technically, what I want is for them to do something like this, eat that, and then take the short, right? Because then that way I know once they've eaten this, I can take the short comfortably. But they're coiling upwards, and I just gotta wait to see what they're gonna do. So last time they did something, it was semi-similar. Hmm. Is that where they want to turn? See, that's the problem. Like, I just don't know. And that's the part that I need to get comfortable with. Or did they already do it? And I missed it. What do you think? And it came up, got above it, and then now is the time for the short. Since I'm on TradingView just for funsies, I'm not gonna put in a real trade. Let's say I drop, let me open up my paper trading because I'm still testing this out. I don't know, put too much real money on this. So if I take the short from here and then let's see if I put my stop loss, what, right above this wick, and I set my take profit to about, let's say the equal lows right here. Is that gonna work? I mean, See, half my problem, well, most of the time, is that I just don't. I want to do the analysis here and I want to enter the trade here. Every time I have to go somewhere else to do it, I feel like I've lost time and then I miss the actual trade I want to take. Hmm. And that bothers me. You got a similar scenario for BTC? Yeah. 'Cause I mean, it's all the same, really, when you think about like the structure. The only real difference is you're just waiting for them to eat the liquidity first. Because look, half the time, like they ate it, they made a low technically, then they ate the low here. I mean, if I'm gonna follow this process, I should have just taken the long right here, back up, right? And that would have worked. But still too new to recognize that this is like the low. But like in hindsight, yeah, it's easy to see. And look, they're coming out to eat this short. They might hang out here for 2 seconds and then eat this one. Oh man. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like half the time I'm not in the right place. They're gonna eat that. And then they might pause here at the 0.5 and then come back down. We're ranging. Or I could be entirely wrong and then, lose 250 of fake money. Oh man, this sucks. Look at that. It's like a practically 1-to-1 trade. What is in hindsight? Oh, well, so basically when you're in the moment and price is unfolding, you don't know what the heck is gonna happen, right? But once it's finally unfolded, you can see, well, what I was thinking in my brain, yeah, worked, but at the moment I wasn't sure. And that's the part. So in hindsight, you can tell, yeah, your process was a good one. Yeah, that's great. But in the moment when you're trading, like for realsies, you don't know. It's 50-50. You want to trust your analysis, and that's about it. Hmm. So here I'm trusting that they're done with their little eats. I'm actually going against what I wanted in the first place. Technically, what I wanted was for up all the way up here. And they might be more than happy to accommodate me in a few minutes. So in hindsight, when you look back, and that's why we back test, you can see, start to train your eyes to see, okay, yeah, they ripped it, came back down, took out the folks who were interested back here. You do? Huh. Interesting. Well, sure, I think like for folks like us who are learning right now in this bear market, it's like the best time because it's so much easier to oh my God, there's so many. And that's why I get so confused sometimes too. Trust me, you're not alone. You're not alone in that thinking. And that's why I'm like, understanding, it's more a matter of like understanding the price action and seeing how it might move, right? So when you think about it and you scroll out, like let me go back, I'm gonna let that play out. Let's go into or and since we like ETH so much for trading, right? Let's look at this little section, right, on the 1 hour, just to make it super clear, right? Exactly. Exactly. So if you understand what the price is telling you, you have an edge, right? So look at the way this thing unfolded, right? So after price made a big run up, wicked out, consolidated, wicked again. Now, from Meat's perspective, this is a swing failure, right? It's a swing failure pattern. And then technically, we're showing a lot of weakness. People are probably taking profits, buyers are like, exhausted and sellers are stepping in. So you're seeing all this wicking to the top, but the wicks on the bottom are a lot smaller than these guys, right? So then technically after something like this, you could take a short if that's your process, right? But for me, I love his stuff because he's explaining how price can move. And look, no joke, similar inducement, right? They took out the stops here. Similar thing, right? Same thing, different name. All it is, there were a bunch of people who were like, yeah, I'm gonna go short right here when this first play happened. And then they took them out. They gave him a little hopium, took them out, and then went short. Because these people aren't wrong. They just didn't wait for the second part of the play, which was, well, everybody's going short here. Once they take this level out, then go short. Because guess what? They didn't bother to come back up to it after that. You could have just been like, right here, boom, and then aim for this liquidity. That would have been a nice 1 to 3 or whatever. But that's the thing that I'm starting to understand, right? Like the structure matters. Like it just, if you understand like what they might do next. Oh yeah, the algorithm is like, give me all your liquidity, give me all your money. That's exactly what it does. I mean, and sometimes, actually, did they do it here? Yeah, they did. Oh man, look at that. You wouldn't even have realized it. They did the same thing here, but because it's on the 1 hour, we can't see it, right? They ripped it down, and then they took out the folks who are like, yes, I'm going long. They took them out. And then they never broke this level again, and it went long. Isn't that crazy? By the way, this is that long. I was like, ooh, you know, Morning Star. I love these. I love these on the 1 hour. Whenever they form on the 1 hour, I'm like, I had this long thing, and I think I said it in another video. I was like, boom, and I was like, I'll just put it under here, and then I was gonna aim for like the next level that they hung out at, which is about here. But did I take the trade? No. I always take the stupid trades. Let's take the stupid trades. I never take the trades that I plan out and I'm like, huh, that makes total sense. So I've found that like whenever I see something on the higher time frames, like I don't trust them. I don't trust them on the lower time frames, right? So on the 1 hour, I had this level marked out, right? This area where price like to hang out. And always look to the left. Has it been over there? Is it you know, and call it a support resistance flip, call it whatever the heck you want. Simplicity for simplicity's sake is just an area where price stalled at multiple times. So whenever I see price stall at a specific level and then it starts forming a pattern that I like, because I was looking at it, what was this? Was it Wednesday night? Yeah, Wednesday night. And no joke, Lock, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I fell asleep. Like I was like, you know what? I should put this trade in right there. And I've been falling asleep at freaking 8 p.m. at night like an old lady. And you could have had two targets. Look at it. You had target number one and look to the left, and when I think about my targets, I think about where price retraces back to, right? So when you look down to here, it dropped, it retraced back to this level and then dropped again. So that's where I'm thinking to myself, okay, so if it retraced back to this level, let me draw it out. Is that an area where price likes to hang out? And then I go to the left and voila, it is. So nowadays I'm like thinking to myself, like, where does price like to stop and hang out? Look at it. Every single time. Right up to it, retrace to this next area it likes to hang out at, retraced up a little bit, tapped it, came back up to another area. Literally Price tells you where it wants to go and where it might stall and turn around all the time. So you could have had two targets on that trade, right? If you think it's continuing on up. I mean, look to the left. The left is your friend, man. The left is your bestie. Look at this. Boom. It stopped right at this area where price liked to hang out. So, these are all areas where orders are pooling up, liquidity's hanging out, you know. I mean, it could be in a nice little imbalance or whatever. I mean, some folks would be like, oh, well, like price like to stop right here. And whoa, look, 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 look. I didn't even see that. Look. I was just thinking, price has been hanging out in this general vicinity. And look, they came almost like smack dab up to it before falling. So you could have had one target, two targets. And the first half, 2.58, and then a 1 to 4 after that. But everything else is in hindsight. And the thing I need to work out is how the hell do I get into these trades? Now, what did I do? Oh, look, I'm in the negative now. Haha. Oh man. See? I didn't wait for my inducement. Should have waited. Now, is it going to continue up? Yep. Gonna get stopped out. But that's why I'm testing this thing out. You just never know. And oh, that I was like, what is that? Huh? Pity. That's why I don't like the 1 minute. Like I can't really see what the hell I'm even doing. Uh-huh. You know, and this is why I'm still trying to understand price, right? Is this rejection telling me that, seller buyers are trying to step into the market, but sellers are like, hell no, we won't go. And then I should be looking for more buying opportunities? I mean, that's the thing, right? Right. Looks like I lost everybody, right? All right. So, since price seems to be about to stop out my fake trade, I think that's a good place to stop for the moment. I am going to continue on testing. It looks like price, at least today, is trying to make tiny moves inside of its range. I wanted to break out of it. Oh, hello, coming back down. Haven't been stopped out yet. Oh, look at that. Let's go to the 1 minute and finish this off with a. Let's see. Hmm. They could just be for them to continue down. I need them to break this low right here. Right here. Otherwise, this could be a continuation to the upside. Hmm. Interesting. Anyway, all right, guys. Since I've lost all viewers, you guys have a happy Saturday. And I'll try and do more live trading options. Oh, no, it's going up. Yeah. Mm. All right, guys. Happy Saturday. Get some sleep, rest, whatever. That's it for Shakira. It's time for some breakfast and maybe some liquid. I keep wanting to say liquidity. Some liquid. Mm. All right, trade safely out here. Still trying to learn myself. Oh, coming back down. See, my original trade idea was the right way. Right? I couldn't even say liquidity right. Oh, I didn't realize you were on here. It said nobody was watching, so I was about to close. So I'm wondering if they're gonna continue back down. on this one, like if they do a little something like this and then like that. Because my original idea was to take the short once they came back in here. So my trade's not entirely invalidated. You think? Dude, I am trying to get to master levels eventually, man. Trying, but first things first, like okay, so here's my morning routine, right? I get up, I work out, and while I'm working out, I'm watching a trading vid, something new to help me understand, right? And that's why yesterday when I posted in the Discord that whole process about the whole inducement thing, I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." I had no idea. I understand I understood structure, but I didn't understand um how smart money works to mess with us poor, unfortunate retail folks, right? So that's why I'm like, man, I am still a giant noob at this. Well, I think I'm being short biased again. I really think I am on this one. Hold on. Let me come back up. What are we even looking at? Because the 1 minute sometimes doesn't give me any. Let's take away all of the noise. Let's take away all of the noise. What have I missed? Yeah, because sometimes I just need to back up. So they made a weak break here. They wicked a whole bunch off of this level. Then they've been slowly coiling up with stronger green candles. Oh, look at it. See? Well, at least on the 3 minute. Is that a level they've done this at? Hold on. An area. Yeah, it is. Huh. Well, there's my favorite bullish engulfing on the 3 minute. Hmm. But, you know, sellers are trying to step in. I don't know. They're trying real hard. Thing is, like, they could come back up to hang out at this wick. Have they done that before? Let's see. Because they wicked down, then came back down to eat some of the wick. Because technically it's a bit of an imbalance in the charts, right? Every time they wick something like that, they need to equalize it. But oh man, look at that. Look at that green candle. There's nothing on it on the bottom. There's wicking on the butt of that thing. That's a strong bullish move. These guys too. Yup. Yup. Is it still showing the same way on the 10 minute? Yes. Oh man. Sometimes you have to zoom out because the candles will tell you the truth, right? Strong. Come on. Get out of the way. Yeah, it's going up. It's going to at least go up and eat the rest of this wick. And we got stuck in the smaller range. When we zoom out, we are in dun 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 the bigger the bigger range, and we are in the discount zone of the bigger range, and that's how we got fooled. We got fooled, y'all. We got fooled. Look at it. This is why I'm still working on the range thing. We got totally played. We are in the discount zone of the bigger range, and that is coiling upwards. And they just wiped out all the stop losses and ate most of this. At, I mean, honestly, at minimum, they're at least gonna come up to the point 0.5 and dig into some of this. What kind of move is that? Let's say, let's say we caught it. Next area they might stop at. Still not even a 1% move. Man, like what's a 2% move? That would be like to the top of this range. So if we'd say taken it at this beautiful green candle, ay, ay, ay. At our stop loss. Would that be worth it? Let's see. Like, say, go into here and try and eat some of this imbalance. What's that? It's almost a 1 to 2. Man. Hmm. But will they? I think they will. I think they will. But they have to break this level for me to believe it. Potential break, a little bit of retest, and then continuation back up, something like that. Oh man, those juicy green candles, this is why I don't like being so far on the 1 minute. It's hard for me to focus on that. Anyway, enough. It's time for some breakfast. It's 9 a.m. I don't even know how long the stream is. Oh crap, we've been hanging out for an hour. All right, well, I hope this was fun. It's definitely fun for me. I will be back testing more later, but just for your awareness, I am going, I don't even think I'm even logged in on, yeah, I'm not signed in on here, but I'm going to be looking at a few vids from this Trading Hub 2.0 dude. Um, I like I like what there's a whole thing on liquidity and inducement, which is what I'm learning, and I'm gonna be going through a bunch of these vids to kind of understand. There's a Trading Hub 2.0 like playlist. There's smart money entries, high quality entry setup. So I'm gonna be going through all of this. I like it. I like it a lot. So just as a suggestion. All right, guys. Um, huh. Don't lie to us. But it is stopping at an area where it's been rejected from before. Until it breaks this lower high and makes a higher high, then this is just BS foolishness. I need to break this guy, and then they're going up. But I'm pretty close to being I haven't been stopped out yet on my fake trade. Seriously, why does trading view hook us up with oh, can I with other trade trade brokers for crypto? Do none of the exchanges want to like work with TradingView? Literally everybody is using TradingView for analysis. I mean, how much fun do you have trying to do your analysis on the exchange view, on the exchange thing? Cricket, it has like TradingView as their thing too, but like all the things that I like to use, which I haven't been really utilizing in here. Let me see. Oh, hey, hold up. The daily pivot has moved. Oh, we're going up, aren't we? Yes, we are. At minimum, it's gonna tap this pivot. I'm trying to get comfortable using the pivot points too as like a range thing. So, and then just the regular pivot standards, right? Like not even like anything too insane. But if you follow the way the pivots work, except for when they're in this like annoying consolidation space, when it's in a clear trend, like clear, like for example, you know, yeah, let's look at these guys right here. Two trending areas, right? So whenever you see like price falls below the pivot and it keeps the pivots keeps, they form every 24 hours, right? At 7 p.m., 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 7 a.m. 12 hours? 12 hours. Yeah. Um, so you can use the pivot as kind of like a trend direction filter, right? So down here, we've got this pivot, very confusing area. Price breaks below it. Now you can just be like, well, we're well below the pivot. Let's keep shorting. Oh, look, we're still below the pivot. Let's keep shorting. And price hasn't come back to the pivot directly. And then once we hit this area right here, um, price broke below it. And then the next pivot that formed was a higher pivot. And that tells you that price is going back up. Now, do you need a pivot to do that? Heck no. Market structure. You know what I mean? I mean, simple market structure. We had a low, we made this higher, higher high, whatever. And then we never made a lower low below here. Of course, the pivot's going to be like higher up. Now, you can sometimes use the pivots as like, points to, take your trades from. But mostly I'm just like, where is the pivot? So I can figure out trending. So the pivots higher up, higher up. These guys it gets confusing. So there's probably going to be a trend change. It dropped, came back above. Price is trading well away from the pivot. Annoyance is here. Price is probably going to make some other change and drop. And it did. So I don't know. I kind of like the concept behind it. So I'm also going to be just using it as like a trend direction, something to help me with that. All right. Enough. It's time for some ah it's time for some food, I think. All right, guys. I probably can't say liquid without saying liquidity anymore. I mean, it's just water. Ah, all right. This was fun. We'll see how my fake trade goes. Looks like they're stalling, but I do prefer entries on the 15. But with a sideways move, it's really hard to do that. Looks like they're stalling. Hmm, we'll see. Maybe they'll get my take profit. Something I'm getting used to is being in the red. Being in the red. And I didn't use the calculator for this just for funsies, but I've been using it a lot more for my actual trades. And knowing that I'm only going to lose, since BitGet limits me to my smallest contract can be 0.01 for Ethereum and 0.001 for BTC, then I can calculate based off of the stop loss that I actually want with the one ATR, how much um, of a loss percentage wise. Like I can like prep it and then I'll know for sure. And then sometimes I'll go into BitGet, put the order in, and then just kind of see the range because their calculator doesn't tell you the percentage. Their calculator just either calculates liquidity or it calculates your take profit, but it doesn't tell you fees. Most people don't. You probably have to create your own like custom like calculator for that. Probably not a bad idea. All right, let me stop talking. Let me stop talking. All right. Happy Saturday. All right. Shakira out.